So Austin Theory joined the Division at Survivor Series, unless Chris Jericho consumed roids for breakfast like it's Ryback's crunch time and got bitten by a spider. I love me some Chris Jericho people, but imagine believing this is Chris Jericho right here. He can't move like that no more. So we'll talk about Theory, War Games, Heyman getting cancelled, Triple H got heckled, and WrestleMania 42. Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of Greatness of Wrestling, your favorite wrestling show. So yes, at WWE Survivor Series War Games, we saw the return, the joining of Austin Theory, most likely new member of the Division, which is something we actually talked about for so many weeks and so many videos. This is something we asked for, begged for, and WWE finally listened. Unless WWE are tricking us. Maybe the person we had right here is not necessarily the same person who's gonna be the actual reveal. It could be Chris Jericho, it could be the Great Khali, it could be Tensai. It could be Tensai, people! Not that I believe WWE would do anything that cool. Y'all probably remember Russell was talking about how Austin Theory still has internal support in a significant matter from WWE creative. And we kept wondering, when is he actually joining? Logan Paul joins the Division, which we still don't know, is he actually a member, like a legitimate member, or just a teammate for Survivor Series. And we thought, well, if Logan Paul is part of this team, then Austin Theory is probably not joining because it's a very similar character. Two spoiled, good-looking brats. It's a very similar gimmick, so you don't actually expect them to be in the same faction. According to reports from the likes of Pro Wrestling Insider and Fightful Select, none other than Austin Theory was the man under the dark clothing. Better late than never, people. I don't care how it happened, I'm just glad it did. Now, I don't really think they should drag this for way too long. Everybody knows who's under that mask. Why do we need to pretend like we don't? One of the best physiques in the WWE, it's so easy to tell who it is. Now WWE are basically telling you it could be Seth Rollins. No, it can't be Seth Rollins. We know it's not Seth Rollins. Not that many people in the WWE have the physique that Austin Theory has. Monday Night Raw is happening tonight. That's when you give us the reveal. Don't drag this shit unless there are more people under the mask. Maybe you're going to see another interference and this guy looks completely different. So now we don't know if WWE are just lazy and masking a completely random person every week, or there are more members joining the Division. Heyman acts like he doesn't know who it is. How would I know? The man was wearing a hood? How would I know? How would I know? Basically, Paul Heyman is saying that he's innocent and he has no idea who's under the hood, the mask. I think the face was painted black too. It was only the eyes, I hope. Can we finally say that WWE, Mr. TKO, Mr. Greedy Man, listened? I think they're canceling me. You know, they're giving me a warning right now. Don't talk about TKO. Let me know in the comments below, is it Austin Theory or Rikishi? People, let's talk about Paul Heyman. So, there is a video of Paul Heyman pushing a fan. I heard about it, a kid by the way. I was like, okay, this has to be bad, but it's not as horrible as you probably imagine. So this is the clip, right? Paul Heyman is walking and, okay, he just pushed him. I know it's a kid, you shouldn't do that, but at the same time, what I'm seeing right here is security not doing their job. And Paul Heyman, like, this is something that will not be mentioned if it gets more attention, is that this is scripted anyway. Like, Paul Heyman is playing a character, and he shouldn't probably do that. It's not necessarily a very good look. But it's not like a random celebrity just pushing a fan. Like, that would be completely different. Like, I don't know, Justin Bieber, that's a weird-ass reference, pushed a fan like that. That's horrible. But this is Paul Heyman, still in character. It just so happens to be that, you know, it's a kid. So, you know, I feel like everybody's wrong in this situation. You shouldn't touch wrestlers, so we are the parents. The security are not doing anything really right here. You know, you shouldn't allow this to happen in the first place. And Paul Heyman probably, you know, didn't really think about the fact that this is a kid. Probably they... What is he wearing? Probably John Cena's merch? No? Yes. So, I know how it looks. I know how it sounds. It's not that big of a deal. Like, come on. He shouldn't have done that, but acting like, oh my god, this is... Like, no one got hurt. No one actually got hurt. Obviously, it depends on your situation. I imagine if I was a kid and, I got pushed kinda by Paul Heyman, I would be like, holy shit, this is the coolest shit ever. It seems like the kid wasn't even fazed. He doesn't care. So here's the thing. I'm not saying you can always use the excuse, well, I'm in character, but that's kinda exactly what happened right here. Like, the actual Paul Heyman, the man behind Paul Heyman, wouldn't push random ass kids. He's playing a character, and maybe sometimes you go a little bit too deep into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that hard to understand, and, like, what is opinion there to have, really? Everybody is wrong in this situation. Sean Ross Sapp reported, I'm told by WWE sources there was no real heat on Paul Heyman pushing a child out of his way at Survivor Series. There was more heat on security for allowing anyone to get to him. That's kinda right. Like, the security didn't do their job. What else happened is that Triple H got heckled. Yes, fans were chanting, "We want Edge." Now, I'm not here to silence the WWE fans, but WWE Sports. I think I'm slowly losing my mind. People, we want Edge, right? We want Edge. Do we want Edge? Yes. We want Edge. We want edging. We want a lot of things. But people, you probably didn't know this. There's this one thing called the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament, where we kinda already have an idea of who's facing John Cena. It's either Solo, LA Knight, or Gunther. So we kinda know that it's not gonna be Edge. It's a bit too late to chant for Edge. It doesn't make any goddamn sense to chant for Edge. So why don't we just shut the fuck up about it? Like, it doesn't make any sense anymore. Why would you chant his name? If John Cena had like 5 appearances left, maybe. Now we know, literally we know who's facing John Cena, the possibilities. And it ain't Edge. So why are we chanting his name? Why are we chanting his name? Let's talk about WrestleMania 42. According to Dave Meltzer, we now know the matches, the main events, the championship matches, the World Championship match, the WWE Championship match, CM Punk versus Braun Breaker, and Cody versus Roman. Again. Now look, I know we've seen this match twice at WrestleMania. So I'm wondering what would make me excited about it. The only thing, unless the story is really, really good and we get some twists and turns and I don't know. The only thing that would get me really, really, really excited about this match, that would make it completely different, is the heel turn. And it's Cody turning heel. Different dynamic. Because otherwise, I don't know where are we going with this. Are we basically saying, well, Roman was a better champion, so now he's the face of the company again, and we're giving this championship back to Roman? I really don't know what's the point, but if you watch the War Games Survivor Series, he said this is the last time we're teaming up, so obviously there's still some heat, even though Roman Reigns is cool with CM Punk, which is also kind of weird because CM Punk was the one who ate the pen. So this is really interesting. I just hope that the story is gonna be good if this is the match we're getting, because if it's just as basic as, well, we're both at the top right now, we're two faces of the company, kinda. What about one more time? I won the Rumble, and, I carried the company better than you. Come on. Nobody gives a shit. That's what made WrestleMania 40 special. Twists and turns. Somebody turns heel. And it doesn't need to be Roman this time. When it comes to Punk versus Braun Breaker, I'm interested in this match. I think it's a bit too much time to wait though. Like, this is the match we are probably going to get a lot sooner. It seems like it. It's like we've seen these two in the ring so many times, and we are going to see these two in the ring for so many times again. It's not gonna feel special anymore. It doesn't feel like a big attraction match anymore. Braun Breaker is definitely the one who needs to take that championship from CM Punk. It's pretty clear, right? WrestleMania though, I don't know. Like, WWE must have a really good story. And that's like the answer to everything, really. We talk about these possibilities, matches that seem exciting, not exciting. It always comes down to the story, but, lately with the WWE, like, let's be honest right here, 2025 wasn't that good of a year, so our trust in the WWE is kinda down. And lately, I just don't feel it. Like pay-per-views like Survivor Series, Rumble, WrestleMania, it's not as exciting as it used to be. And I don't know if it's just me, or that's just professional wrestling in 2025. I want to talk about War Games. People, is it me, or this concept is kinda, I wouldn't necessarily say dead, but a bit tiring right now and a bit of a problem in the WWE. And what about going back to traditional Survivor Series matches where it actually makes sense? War Games being a yearly premium live event does not make any sense to me personally. Here's the thing, WWE got rid of gimmick pay-per-views, right? It's a Hell in a Cell match because, well, it's a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view even if the rivalry didn't ask for it. That's the same thing with War Games, even if we're pretending that it's not. They're building War Games, the logo says War Games, and we have to pretend that, oh, this is naturally happening, natural rivalries, natural storylines, and then they announce that it's a War Games match because the rivalry somehow asked for it, even though it's already in the name of the pay-per-view. You get what I'm trying to tell you? Like, why are we pretending that it's not a gimmick premium live event? At least Survivor Series are traditional. It says in the name, traditional Survivor Series matches. And it doesn't have to be even rivalries. It could be Raw versus SmackDown. And sometimes it just happens to be that we have factions and they naturally get into a rivalry. And right now, I'm kind of feeling like it shouldn't be a yearly thing. It's forced. It feels forced. And, you know, it used to be special. War Games in the WWE, something we haven't seen really, outside of NXT. And now since it happens every year, it doesn't feel special anymore. You can't really come up with new shit. Like every year now, you're getting Io Sky with the same spot. Like it's some kind of a nostalgic match. No, it's still fresh and new in the WWE, and you already kind of ruined it. The men's match was good, but even with that being said, I watched it, I was like, this is probably one of the better War Games matches, but it's not one of my favorites. Could be even my least favorite because I've seen everything, it's not special anymore. Even if on paper the match was really, really good, I feel like WWE need a break from this match type, especially having 2 matches on the show, like come on. I was wondering people, like Survivor Series was not a bad premium live event, right? Like on paper, what bad really happened? Some matches were decent, War Games matches were fine, and for whatever reason I was just so disappointed. I felt like, well, been there, done that, seen all this shit. You know, it didn't feel special anymore. And I believe it's not that the pay-per-view was that bad, it's just that WWE couldn't really come up with anything new. But people, let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, your boy, The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.